Page 10, Chapter 3. People surviving in the desert. People must find ways to survive in the desert. They need to find ways to collect and conserve water. They also protect themselves from the desert heat. They wear loose clothes and cover their faces. Many move from place to place to find food and water for their animals. They are nomads. Here we see a picture of the town of Gardaya, Algeria. Grew up near an oasis where people could get water. Today, many desert people have moved to urban areas like this to live. The Tuareg. The Tuareg are nomadic people who live in the Sahara. They must move from place to place in order to find plants for their animals to eat. They herd sheep, goats, and camels. Since it's hard to find grazing lands for their herds, the Tuareg are constantly on the move. The name Tuareg means people of the veil. The men wear veils to cover their faces. They also wear silken, loose-fitting robes that protect them from the harsh sun, thorns, and desert dust. These flowing robes are dyed indigo blue. The Tuareg are often called the blue men of the desert. The men lead camel caravans across the desert. They take their animals and goods to nearby towns to sell. The Tuareg are also known for their fighting ability and their artwork. On page 12, desert homes. Over the years, people have built many different kinds of homes in order to escape the harsh desert heat. In Matmata, Tunisia, which is also in the northern part of the continent of Africa, people have been living in underground homes for 2,000 years. Spikes in the walls or ropes help them climb in and out of their homes. The Bedouins have to move from place to place to allow their herds to graze. Most Bedouins live in tents made from camel or goat hair. Here we see a picture of the Bedouins that fold their tents and have their camels or goats drag the tents behind them. Bringing water to the desert. We see a spring, a qanat, a well, and a desert garden. Water in the desert. People in the Sahara use underground tunnels called qanats to bring them water. This water system works well in the desert as it does not need pumps to draw the water up. The people can construct qanats without many tools, but the workers who build them are very skilled. First, the workers must identify the source of water. Then they dig the qanats by hand. The water most often comes from a spring near the mountains. The water flows downhill through the qanat into a well. Then people can bring the water to the surface. In other places, more modern methods of bringing water to the surface are utilized. There is a reservoir of fresh water far below the ground in Farafra, Egypt. The government has built deep wells there. The wells bring the water to the surface.